Hey guys, this is Ben with Upstart HR, and I hope you're doing well. Today we're going to talk about a book that I just finished. It's called It's My Company Too, How Entangled Companies Move Beyond Employee Engagement to for Remarkable Results. Whew, goodness, long subtitle. Anyway, don't let that fool you, because it's a good book. I got a lot of notes in here that I've really enjoyed about it, and I'm going to talk about a few key things today that I kind of took away and that I'd like to share with you. So, It's My Company Too focuses on the idea of entanglement, which the authors put forth as something beyond just engagement. Engaged means you're connected. Entangled means that you are interwoven in there. Everything you do touches on everything else. It's just an interesting kind of concept. And normally when you think about being tangled or entangled, it's kind of a negative thing. You're tangled up, this thing got, tied up with that, or your hair's tangled up, whatever it is. It's just kind of a negative thing. But they put forth that entanglement can be a positive thing for your organization if your people are, woven in there, touching every little thing. Everyone's, kind of held together by that. One of the things that they talk about in here is putting your culture expectations in words. If you've paid attention to the blog for a while, you know that I am a huge fanatic for corporate culture and doing it well, and using that as a strategic tool for hiring or retention and all that. So it made me kind of stop and think again. We talk about, use your culture, your corporate culture is great, yada yada, but that doesn't really put it in words specifically. When someone comes in, I've tried to do a better job since reading this book. I've tried to do a better job of explaining exactly what that means, instead of saying we have a great culture and leaving it at that. We have a great culture. We communicate very well with each other. That's something we hold dear. We all contribute ideas to our big ideas database, because that is a part of our innovation here, our innovative culture that underlies everything we do. Everyone's focused on being more efficient and how to put in new ideas and share how to do things better. So putting your culture expectations in actual words, instead of just throwing it out there like it's a buzzword and leaving it at that because you don't really understand what it means or how it can be used. Take the time to put it into real words. It'll have a bigger impact and it'll mean more to the people you're talking to. Another thing to talk about in here is hardwiring discretionary thinking. So that when someone has, the idea of engagement is someone gives their discretionary effort to the organization. And this is talking about how hardwiring the discretionary thinking actually. And the first thing that kind of popped in my head as an example is, I know that I'm on a roll, I'm feeling good about the work I do. When I walk out, get in my car, I'm driving home, and leave the radio off, I'm just thinking, I've got this thorny issue for this customer. I'm going to try to figure out how to solve it. And by the time I get home, I have 2 or 3 ideas that I want to test out and see if I can use those to solve the problem. That time that I'm sitting in the car is not work time, in quotes. It's not work time. It's not, I could turn the radio on, forget that place exists until I walk in the next day and start trying to pick up those pieces and figure out what to do. But that discretionary thinking, that extra time that I have, I'm focused on the customer and the organization, how to make that better. I'm not saying destroy your whole life, but that's just getting people to go beyond giving the bare minimum is how you create an entangled organization, and I love that. There are actually eight critical elements that make up an entangled organization. I'm not going to go through all those. I'm going to touch on 3 really quick. The first one is employee freedom and responsibility within a culture of discipline. So employees are free, employees are held responsible for what they're doing, and I just love the idea of that. We have a high degree of autonomy within our organization for our staff, and they just, you give them something and let them run with it, basically. I love that freedom part of it. And we're also saying, what? You got the freedom, you got that's the fun part. You get to do it how you want to do it. But we're also going to hold you accountable for those results, and you're going to be responsible for that. And I love the two pieces of that tied together. You know, that's the essence of treating your people like adults instead of treating them like kids. For kids, you either give them a little bit of freedom to do something, but no responsibility over the end result, or you give them the responsibility, but you tell them every little thing to do, so they have no freedom. Giving your people both of those is going to be an amazing result, basically. The other one that I like to talk about is leaders who do extraordinary things. You know, we love, I've talked before about, you know, legends, using legends within your, you know, a storytelling kind of concept or context within your organization to help communicate what your culture really means. Taking, you know, a leader who did something just above and beyond and using that story about that person as kind of a legend that you pass down from generation to generation within your company, and so that, you know, someone new coming in is like, I wonder what they mean when they're talking about, you know, unequivocal excellence and serving the customer. What does that really mean, you know, for us? And then we pull out the story, you know, pull it out. We start telling the story. Okay, at one point we had this engineer who got a call from our customer, found out that their machine was down. He hung the phone up, walked out to his car, and drove 300 miles and fixed it that night because he knew that it was that critical for them. They didn't expect it. They didn't ask him to do it. He just knew that that's what needed to be done for our customer, and he did it. And that's what we really mean when we say that. Oh, okay, so now you get that. That's the whole idea of using kind of legends within your organization. The last one that I like to touch on is focusing all human capital. And that's not focusing some, that's not focusing a few or a part or the leadership or the frontline people. That's focusing all of your human capital. Everyone from, you know, A to Z within your organization focused on serving the customer, doing the right things. That's how you get to an organization that's beyond just having engaged employees who give a little bit of extra effort. It's something far beyond that. It's an entangled organization where people truly care about the results of the company overall and how they play into that. So that's It's My Company Too. If you'd like to check it out, it's a good book. And thanks for stopping by today, guys. I hope you have a great week.